due course. But if we can go straight to you, Daniel, whilst I'm watching us set up here on YouTube so people can hear it over there as well. What's the situation? Because it's very confusing, Daniel, right? We tend to get this idea that something has become the law, if you like, when in fact it still needs the rubber stamp, the promulgation of the president. Where are we with this, with the nationality and citizenship right now?
Hello, good evening. The what happened yesterday was the approval in the parliament, the final approval of the law. They were discussing it and voting it on a commission, with it's a small chamber inside the parliament that they discuss the nitty-gritty out of the law, and then when they're happy about that, they will take the law into the main chamber, the parliament, and they'll vote it. And that's what happened yesterday. And the new nationality law was voted in by the PSD and by the Chega. Now the law will be sent from the parliament to the president, and the president has two options. He can either sanction and approve the law, and that's going to be it. And if the president does this, I do doubt it, but if the president does this, we'll probably have a new nationality law within, I would say, 15 days in fully operation. Then we have the other option that I don't think that it will happen is the president denying the law. It's called a political veto, because if the law is sent back to the parliament, then they can vote the law as is without introducing any changes, and then the law will be finally approved, because the parliament in our system surpasses the president if they do another vote on the law. So they are confirming the law. And the final option that I think it's probably what will happen, and this, well, take it with a grain of salt. It's crystal ball gazing, but um, this was you, wasn't it?
I don't know what happened there. I'm going to start recording again. No, forgive me. There we go. Carry on.
So that's good that I stopped. So the option that I think that it will happen is that the president will send the law to the constitutional court, because there's a lot of people worried about some bits out of the law being unconstitutional. And if this is the case, as it happened with the migration law, the law will be sent from the president to the constitutional court with a list of questions or a list of concerns that the president has, and that the constitutional court will have to issue a sentence, an opinion on those matters. And as it happened with the migration law, this usually takes around 2 months to occur. Then the law will be sent again to the parliament with this sentence out of the constitutional court. The parliament will need to expunge all the portions out of the law that were considered unconstitutional, and then a new vote will need to be put forward, and finally the law will be sent again to the president. So recapping, the law is now going to be sent to the president. I think that the president will send it to the constitutional court. This may take around 2 months to obtain a new decision. Then law gets back to parliament. Parliament expunges, votes again, sends it to the president, and then gets sanctioned. So if it's the constitutional court is the route that is actually being taken, then probably in around 3 months, 3.5 months, 4 months, let's call it that, we'll have a new nationality law. So if you are on the verge of obtaining the 5 years of residency, and you already have the A2 language proficiency skill passed, please do submit your nationality applications. If you do need assistance with that, do let us know, because otherwise, once the law does change, the time limitation will be increased to 10 years for people that are naturals from countries that are not Portuguese speakers, and 7 years for people that are Portuguese, that come from Portuguese-speaking countries. So the limits will increase. That's a given, and there's no grandfathering in law or portion of the law that will allow people that already have a residency permit or that are in the process of obtaining one, indeed allowed to have the 5-year rule instead of the 10 or 7-year rule. So it's a big change. There's a lot of people disgruntled about it, and I do fully empathize and understand. In my view, what should happen is that newcomers well, they should have the 10-year or 7-year or 15 years, depending what the government wants. But for people that were already in the system with residency permits requested or granted, and they have the 5 years already, or not even the 5 years, but if as long as they had a residency permit already, they should be allowed to deliver the processes within the 5 years. This is my take on it. This was one of the parties of the opposition tried to do this, a grandfathering option. They were not, they didn't have enough strength to do it. So at the end of the day, I do understand this dissatisfaction. I fully empathize with it, and I just don't like this new law, to be honest. I think it's a
No,
bad
I
one.
can. We see where the sense of unfairness is, and we await the final rubber stamp promulgation of the president, and we'll see what happens with that. Any questions about that? Please put them into the chat. We do have one already. If you need further clarification, do let us know. You've come to the right place this evening with Daniel Reyes of Reyes and Pelicano, and he was with us in our previous session. Debbie's saying great session. She's referring to the last session about wills and estate planning, and I made a note to myself to get onto it when I returned from holiday. Yeah, a lot of people have been hastened, I think, learning a few new things about how estate planning and wills are different in Portugal. So check that out on Sunday. If you weren't with us in the earlier session, it'll be published on Sunday. And I can guarantee you will have some surprises based on what your assumptions might be of creating a will here in Portugal and some of the other parts of the conversation we had with the excellent Andrea Gonçalves from Raisin Pelicano. Thanks, Daniel, for the time being. I'll come back to you because I think there's some good news from AIMA as well. So we'll come back to you on that. That's our nod in the direction of nationality and citizenship. Let's go to Steve Flack in the UK. How are you doing, Steve? It's dark in the evening, isn't it, over there?
So yeah, it certainly is. Going into work, it's dark, and coming home, it's now dark. So
You've got a nice beard, though. Excellent beard brotherhood going on here.
thanks very much.
What's going on in the world of currency?
So look, we've actually made a nice change. We've actually seen some dollar strength over the last day or so with the trade deal with China, and then with the rate cut. But the rate cut wouldn't have necessarily give it the strength. It was more the fact that they're saying that they may not, it's not a dead cert that they'll be cutting again in next month. So that gave a bit of strength as well. So it was actually quite nice to speak to some of my American clients and say, look, we've actually seen some strength for a change rather than it going the opposite way with with what normally Trump is doing. So so we've seen a little bit of strength. Fortunately, for my UK Euro buyers, it's not been great at the moment. With the budget that's coming out at the moment, there's a lot of negative talk, and they do feel and this is all being priced into the market now. So we're seeing a lot of negative movement for the pound and things like that as well. So it's all right for some of the guys that are going back home. But other than that, yeah, it's not great going the other way at the minute. But like I say, I have seen some nice movement for my American clients in a minute.
Good to know. I know we have some of those cool Canadians with us as well. Anything to say on the Canadian dollar?
Um, it's all been a bit similar to with what's been happening with Trump has made big moves, and it has weakened off the Canadian dollar as well, unfortunately. I'm not 100% sure what the move forward is with regards to interest rates and things like that over there. They seem to be a little bit being in a line with the US at the minute. But yeah, it's just one of those things that we're almost gonna have to wait a bit more data dependent and see what happens with the next rate interest cuts and things like that.
All right, good to know. Thanks for being with us this evening, Steve. Any questions you've got about buying euros? If you're a dollar holder, UK sterling, or Canadian dollars for that matter, or other major currencies around the world, put them in the chat and we'll put those to Steve this evening. Thank you for being here. And yeah, a shout out and regards to the whole team there, because many of your colleagues are well loved by our Expats Portugal premium members. So do send them our regards in the morning. Pedro Franco from EI, how's it been for you in recent times? Have you moved into a quieter period of your work life, hopefully after all that filing? Pedro, good evening to you. Boa noite.
Good evening, everyone. Well, it's not been so quiet. We have been doing a lot of work because there's a lot of work to be done year round. Tax planning, new people that are interested in coming to Portugal and want to understand the intrinsities and want to simulate their taxes.
Mhm.
And we are still filing some late tax returns. So people that when they are, well, people come to Portugal, and some people, of course, not this is the minority, but people come to Portugal and they have the residency permit for 2 years, and when it's up for renewal, it's when they remember that they have to file taxes because they have to go to AIMA for the renewal.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of inquiries to file for the previous 2 years, last minute filing for going up to AIMA for renewal. So, but yeah, it has been a very good month in terms of work. So
Good.
I'm very
Good to
happy.
hear that. Good to hear that.
On
And
the other
yes,
hand,
thanks for that reminder as well for
yeah.
people to don't leave it till your IMA appointment. Okay.
Yeah, because if you are in Portugal, you have to file taxes, even if you don't earn any euro in Portugal, you still have to file taxes. So
Yes. Yeah. Good reminder.
even at least to report foreign bank accounts, you have to do that. So
Oh, okay.
on the other hand, off topic, but also interesting. So it's not everything is not bad news. The government is giving indications that for the next 3 years they will continue to cut 500 million euros in direct taxes, which is in personal income tax. And this means that for the tax brackets that are in the middle, so middle class, they are reducing around 3 percentage points for the next 3 years. So in step by step. But this is a very good sign because it adds up to the reductions that have been carried out in the last couple of years. So I think it's a good sign in terms because it's completely on the opposite side of countries such as the UK and France, as we
Yeah,
have
right.
been hearing about. So
Yes.
Portugal gives this indication of alleviating some personal income tax for the middle class. I think it's very positive.
Good for
Positive
growth.
notes. Yeah.
Good for growth, possibly. And the distinction there being personal income tax.
Yeah.
Is it a good time to come to Portugal and start a company? Not an easy thing to do, but are there some breaks and are there some useful advantages occurring or developing for those people who want to do that?
You know, Carl, it's funny that you asked that because it's much easier to open a company than to get a social security number. So this is
Right. Yes.
you can open a company in 24 hours, but you cannot get a NIS. And if you are the managing director of the company, even if you are non-resident, the Social Security has to give you a NIS because you must make contributions as the managing director of the company, even if you are an alien. Okay, but they don't give the NIS. So this is crazy. This I
It
don't
is.
understand.
Yeah,
So
we need some improvement there, don't we?
I've been working so many years in this, and I don't understand what is going on with these institutions. But it's very easy to open a company
Yes.
as long as you have the NIS. It's okay.
And some of the names that you get offered as well are incredible as well. That's another bonus to opening a company here here in Portugal. Fabulous names. I don't know how they generate them or where they come from. They're anagrams,
I
I
think
think,
it's
Jerry.
computer generated, random
Computer generated.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for your update, Pedro. Really helpful there, and some good news as well, which is great to celebrate this evening. Any questions about taxation, filing your returns, and actually referring to the earlier webinar of this evening, if you want to look at how your taxation situation, the simulations that Pedro talks about in terms of your estate. And your legacy, that might be a conversation worth having with Pedro as well. Find him in the Expats Portugal business directory. Thanks, Pedro. Let's go to Nuno Mendes from I Am Safe at Winsurance. How you doing? Winsurance.pt. How you doing, Nuno?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening. All good, all good. Today we had a relief on the bad weather and on the claims.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah, yesterday it was a crazy day, and we are expecting that tomorrow and Saturday also some huge storm. Okay, and regarding this, I would like to just to put the audience aware that regarding auto insurance, be aware that even if you have own damages, if you don't have the coverage of natural disasters, so trees that fall down or floods or water damages, um, if something happened to your car, it will not be covered. So be aware of that. If you need to that we check if you have it, just send the insurance policy through email and we'll check for you. Okay, no worries at all.
Very much. Great. Okay.
Regarding home, take because now on summertime we had the fires, and on wintertime we had the floods and huge storms.
Biblical.
It's happening every single year, so it's the new reality that you need to live with. So regarding home, be aware of the coverages and the deductibles, okay? Because the multi-risk is a package of coverages, but they are not the same among the same insurer and even less among the market. So be aware of that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Just 2 points regarding international health insurance. Insurance is formally registered with the main international health insurance providers. So if this is a need, let us know. We can provide quotes for you. And regarding the visa first step, so the process when you start the process at the consulate, VFS office or embassy, Portuguese embassy, the most common insured period is becoming 1 year. We are having customers that have required 6 months, and they are sending back by the VFS office or consulates because the requirement now is becoming more often being 1 year. So contact EI if EI is the one that is leading your process, your visa process, or contact the consulate and ask about this, and they should be the ones that will tell you which is the required insured period.
Thank you very much, Nuno. Is that everything from you from the time being?
Yeah, a big hug to all the expats community.
I thought you were going to say to the sporting fans. That was quite a good win a couple of nights ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was,
the sporting fans and the expats community. Abraços. Beijinhos for the expats here tonight. Thanks, Nuno. And Gonzalo here with you as well behind the scenes. Great to see you, Gonzalo. Always good to see you.
Evening, guys.
How are you?
And Sam, I'm
Fine?
good.
Excellent, excellent. Helping out behind the scenes, I'm sure, and enjoying that slightly better weather in the capital. Thank you for being here tonight. Is there anything you want to add, Gonzalo?
Well, about sporting.
If you like.
I'm enjoying the beard, yeah. Welcome to the club.
There's something going on, isn't there? It's winter, I guess. Okay.
Totally, yeah.
Very good. Nice. Again, we need to maybe have a little special forum post about beards and beard maintenance, perhaps. All welcome. Right. Thank you, Gonzalo and Nuno. Connie's here as well. It must be at home with the Stalikas coming up quite soon. Connie might give you more details about that. Social coming up soon in the chat. And you mentioned EIA, and forgive me, last but certainly by no means least, Gilda, the great Gilda Pereira is here as well. Gilda, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you? Tudo bem?
Yeah. Not a great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm really great and well, thank you. A busy day at the office today?
Crazy.
Crazy. I bet it is. So
I just arrived. I didn't even have time to eat.
no, okay, fair enough. Well, I imagine you're going to be in demand tonight as ever, but between questions, you might be able to have a little nibble of something, I hope, to keep you going after a very busy day at the office. What's your assessment? I think we can give some thanks to AIMA. There have been some recently published figures where they are processing more cases and more cases are promised and appointments are promised. How are they doing at the moment, Gilda?
Well, I was going to say that if there is something to be said, is that AIMA is really doing something, and they put a lot of effort to take care of these backlog processes. And each day I see less and less people going to AIMA, which is good because it means that the backlog is almost over. And I felt that today because I was there today, and there were many people there without working because only a few people were there to do their renewal process.
Very good.
So and I've been all the times that I went, the past times that I went to AIMA, yes, because we are having so many process right now because of the renewals that I have to go to AIMA myself also to help my team.
Mm.
And the last times that I've been there, the past 2-3 weeks, I was always called on time. So I think that things are getting better and more organized. And also,
so glad to hear that.
yeah, yes. And also, I know Daniel perhaps can talk about it also, that for the golden visas, they are calling people now. So it means that they are doing something.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Yeah. And we'll come back to Daniel on that because I think there is a golden visa question in the chat, and any questions we have about visas more generally, of course, we can put those to Gilda. Anything else to tell us from the front line of visas here in Portugal from you, Gilda?
Well, we haven't talked yet about the changes on the foreign law, but on the migration law, but I don't think that the only change that from this group that can be different from you is the family reunion. But for our clients and for people that are here on the expats webinars, which by the way, it's a great choice to do because you learn a lot and you don't get to do things that are not supposed to be done. So we here always advise people to come, families to come with the visa, so they won't need to face problems with the family reunification.
Okay.
And as the rest, we have a change for the job seeker visa, but it's not too relevant for our specific public here.
Yes.
And I think that's it.
Okay, well, if you do have a Sandish Mishta under your desk there, so that you can actually have something to eat, have a nibble on that now, and we'll come back to you in just a moment. Okay, thank you, Gilda. Thank you, all of you, the Dream Team. Any questions you've got about moving to Portugal, or if you live here already and there are questions you need to have answered, and I see a few of those in the chat, please ask them now. We will prioritise Expats Portugal Premium members, of course, and there are many people amassing on YouTube as well, so I'll get to you after I've gone through a few questions here. The first of which is there a serious, this comes back to you, Daniel, is there a serious chance that the opposition's proposal to change 10 years to 7 can be accepted, or is it too late since the Parliament already voted? I think you've covered that, haven't you? The Parliament has already voted. The government did not take that suggestion, unfortunately. There, Alexander, I'm reading your words from the chat there, Daniel. Thank you, Gonzalo, for making yourself available in the chat as well. Submitted citizenship by marriage more than 6 years back in June through your firm. I assume nothing will change. This isn't that's not Daniel's bad there. That's the waiting list situation. Daniel, I don't know if you want to unmute address that, but nothing changes over there, right, at the moment?
The 6 years is the time that you need to be married with someone, with a Portuguese citizen. So you can request citizenship via marriage with no questions asked. So no language proof, no connection with Portugal and whatnot. That's what the 6 years is mentioned over there. And for marriage situations, it doesn't change anything. So people that are married to Portuguese citizens, the rules that were already implemented, they will carry on being in full force, and the same goes for descendants from Portuguese people. So whenever a Portuguese person has a kid outside of Portugal, the kid can become Portuguese. So that does carry on to be the same situation. What mainly changes is the timelines that you did state, increasing or decreasing the minimum criteria in terms of crimes being committed. So if you have a criminal record, this is going to be a problem for the nationality procedure, but I can live with that. One thing that is eventually going to have a strong fight in the Constitutional Court is that the citizenship can be removed or revoked for serious crimes.
Yes.
And this is something that probably will do a serious backstop in the Constitutional Court. But eventually they'll find a way of adjusting this and putting it into the penal code instead of the nationality law as just the power of the judge, and probably that will have constitutional acceptance. And I think that those were the major changes, to be
And the
honest.
opening up of a few more appointments for the golden visa are a good sign.
Oh yeah, the opening up of the golden visa appointments. Indeed, we received between yesterday and today, we received a lot of bookings of people that have their pending golden visa processes, even family reunification golden visa processes. It was good. We were expecting it because, well, at least the whispers or the word in the street by people that worked in AIMA said that we should expect the bookings this November, so they came a bit early, and they are all being done between January and March next year, and we're having bookings as well for golden visas for renewal of the cards. So although the golden visa was stopped for quite a bit in terms of bookings, now things seem to be progressing in the right direction, and we have been receiving cards, golden visa cards, in our law firm, because they are sent to the law firm instead of the house of the person that is the applicant, because, well, golden visas, the majority of them do not live in Portugal. So on the golden visa front, although there's a big backlog still, at least we are seeing AIMA going in the right direction, and we do find this to be quite positive and a must, something to praise. Indeed,
Very
something
good.
to praise.
All right, a bit of a mixed bag, but some good to hear some positive news there. Thank you, Daniel. I think, Jill, do you want to add something to that?
Actually, I want to make a question to Daniel.
Oh, okay.
Daniel, do you think that they might consider unconstitutional the positive discrimination for other countries, like
That's an
7
interesting
years
point.
versus 10
Yeah.
years?
Yes. Yeah.
In the webinar that we were having with Andrea, I touched base on that, and I don't see any reason why that should be a legal criteria. It's either 7 years or 10 years or 15 years, but people shouldn't be discriminated between their nationalities if they do come from a country that speaks Portuguese. And people that do come from a country that speaks Portuguese, they have an advantage already. Well, they don't need to take the Portuguese classes or the Portuguese language test, so they have an added advantage because of their nationality, and rightly so. That's a fair advantage that they have because they were born in a Portuguese-speaking country. But the 7-year, 10-year difference, I do find that to be not properly justified and probably not constitutional. So that's a sticking point as well that maybe will not adhere in the Constitutional Court.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I
wondering-
have another question. I'm sorry, I'm also part of the...
No, this is great. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's the first time.
No charge. Yeah, no charge for you, Gilda. Carry on.
Daniel, do you think that they are considering opening an exception for the golden visas?
I sure hope so. And probably this will shock a lot of people, because they say, well, what is the reason? Why should golden visas have a differentiating regime? Well, for the reason that they've invested a lot of money in this country with a fixed set of rules. And for people that are living in the country and they're considering living in the country, the 5-year, 10-year difference will not make a big
Yes.
difference. They'll have the same rights to live here and to stay here as long as AIMA is working properly, having a residency permit or the nationality. The main difference is to vote in the Portuguese elections. And for people that pay taxes here, I do agree that sooner or later they should be able to vote and to decide upon the country's destinations. But for golden visas, this will bring a lot of problems because, well, the Portuguese government did allow the waiting time to be accounted for the nationality. They seem to be removing that out of the law. And this is terrible, in my opinion, because people are waiting 3.5 years to obtain a card. And the second situation is golden visas are not able to live here at all. And they've done plans with their lives. Some young families, people in their 30s, they did their math. Well, I'm investing in this country. I'll obtain the Portuguese nationality. My kids will obtain the Portuguese nationality, and then I'll wish my kids to study in a university
Exactly. That's what
either in
I was.
Portugal or the Netherlands. So this creates so much havoc in the investors that trusted this country that I do wish, just because of the Portuguese image abroad, that they do create a regime of exception
Or I'm sorry, or at least a grandfathering law for those that already invested. Otherwise, I advise everyone that has invested for a golden visa, and if the law changes for 10 years, please sue the Portuguese government.
Yep. I have a lot of clients already addressing us, stating, well, we want to obtain a class action. How can we do this? What I'm advising the clients at the moment is
to wait for the final version.
Let's wait for the final version out of the law, and then we can consider all options. For the time being, it's preliminary. The law doesn't exist in full force in the legal system. But from the feedback that I'm having from all my golden visa clients, they're horrified with what's happening, and I fully empathize and understand because they invested with a set of rules. And they cannot change that in their lives, in their investment plans. And for newcomers, I fully agree with you, Gilda. If someone has a golden visa that is being requested in the next few months, they know that the 10-year situation is a possibility, and they are doing the investment with that possibility in mind. But for people that did their investment, let's say 6 months ago or 5 years ago, they shouldn't be penalized. Well, the opposition was trying to propose this grandfathering in rule. It made total sense, but the government and Chega didn't want to support this. So I'm in disbelief with this situation, to be honest.
Thank you for your question there, Gilda, and your serving suggestion as well. And I think for those people who invested financially, that's what you're talking about. But people have also invested emotionally and in other ways, of course, in the country. So it may be that class actions might occur not only for the golden visa but other types of applicants as well. Although I think, Daniel, you said before that's not a known thing. It's more of a common thing in the United States, isn't it? I mean, an American golden visa, people might be saying, yeah, we'll do a class action because that's what they used to. But it's not a vehicle that's well known in Portugal, is it?
No. There's some possibilities of people bundling in and doing a joint legal action, but the concept of class action is not one that you can transpose to Portugal. But the main problem here with going against the Portuguese state is that you'll need to use the administrative courts, and they are well known for being really, really slow. So it's just you can eventually fight and win the fight, but if it takes 10 years to win that fight, then all the real purpose of that fight is gone. So at the end of the day, well, I would wish that this law would be flunked by the Constitutional Court, in that the parties that are running the show, they would think carefully about this law and would put some grandfathering in clauses. I hope that this is their plan, because the law is so bad that they know that this will probably be have a strong opposition in the Constitutional Court. But this is not a way to run a country. If you're doing a law that you know that it will be reproved in the Constitutional Court, so you can redo it and play the nice guy. This is not a way to run things. And if they're doing this, this is just political scapegoating and mayhem that I don't think it's a proper way to run a country.
We will be watching this with great interest, obviously, and reviewing the situation every other Thursday evening in this Dream Team session with the insight of the experts that you see before you tonight, Gilda and Daniel, with a specific interest in these matters. So we're keeping a close eye on that. And yes, talking of elections, this might have been front page news some time ago, but the presidential election will take place on January the 18th. We've had that confirmation. That kind of got buried just recently with one thing and another. So that's when we'll vote, or I say we, the Portuguese people will vote for their new president on January the 18th of next year, the final election after a long run of election in these last few months. In quite incredible times here for the country. Thank you very much indeed, both of you. Gilda, I hope that your questions were answered satisfactorily.
Yes, thank you, Daniel, so much.
Okay, and thanks to Daniel as well. Let's get back to your questions, Expats Portugal Premium members. Hearing your concerns, Jose Cruz, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing those. We understand that situation. Laurie, or understand your sentiment and how you feel about that. Laurie is saying to Steve, let's talk about a forward contract while the dollar is a bit stronger. What is Laurie talking about there, Steve? How can people take advantage of the strong rate with a forward contract?
So a forward contract is where you are able to buy almost into the future as such. So you would need to put down a 10% deposit. So just for easy math, we'll do an example. If you want to sell $100,000, and you want to go, say 6 months into the future, you don't want all of your funds out of your account that's earning interest. You can put down 10%. Which locks in your rate for you and then you've got up to the date that we agree on to send in the remaining 90%, so the remaining $90,000. The good thing about them is it does protect you from any more any negative movement. The further you do go into the future, the rate does get further away from where the spot market is at the moment. But like I say, the good thing about them is it does protect you from any further movement. And you're still earning interest. If that's where your money is, it's still an interest, and you know where you stand.
Right, great. So you can see Steve's details and Spartan FX's details on the screen behind him there. Give him a call and talk about a forward contract if that appeals to you with the team at Spartan FX. Thank you for explaining that, Steve, and thank you for bringing that up, Laurie, there. I thought this was a sort of political, philosophical discussion. What's considered middle class in Portugal? But Daniel's right there with a figure. I didn't realise that. Is this a legal thing where it's known and classified?
It's the medium income.
Oh, okay.
It's
All right.
median income. So that's why I did point out that figure. It's the medium income in Portugal. But I did mention that times 14 because, well, people in Portugal are paid 14 times instead of 12. So it's to be a fair comparison to other countries, this needs to be mentioned.
Hold on a minute. 14 months a year or 14 salaries a year. This comes as a surprise to people. When did that start?
Well, since ever. You have the well, probably in the 80s, I think. You have the subsídio de férias, or the holiday allowance, usually paid in June, July, and this is one extra salary. And then you have the subsídio de Natal, or Christmas allowance, and this is paid in December. So people are usually paid 14 times, which is a pain if you're trying to run a company, believe me. So it's better to have 12 months instead of 14, because then you have an imbalance in your pay sheet and whatnot. But the majority of people are paid 14 times in Portugal instead of 12.
But they're paid twice in the summer and twice at Christmas, or is it averaged out over the year?
Correct. It's twice in the summer and twice in Christmas. Although you can opt out to have the 14 months paid in 12 months and average that out. So you can opt out or opt in, but the default mode is 14 months.
And that's a legal obligation. Or
Yes, it
contractual.
is.
Okay, it's legal. Okay, that's very interesting. And we're learning so many, or being reminded of so many things that are peculiar to Portugal, that people might be want to be aware of this evening in both our webinar and here. Ed and Sharon, thanks for this. And sorry I missed it earlier. We missed an answer to credit unions in Portugal. Maybe we'll go to Pedro for this. I have a question now regarding that. Credit unions, are they a thing here in Portugal? Can I ask that of you, Pedro?
I think not. They are not. There is in Spain. There is a Spanish company that operates in Portugal for mortgage. I think for mortgage credits.
Okay.
Regarding just the topic that Daniel was talking about, the average class, in terms of the tax brackets that I referred previously. For example, this will affect people that earn 3,000 or 4,000 euros per month, which is
Right.
quite more than just the average salary that Daniel was mentioning. So
Yes.
we refer to the middle class in terms of taxes a bit higher than just the average salary.
Okay, well, thank you for that clarification. While we're talking about banks, we occasionally ask if are there good savings vehicles. That hasn't been the case, has it? Another assumption is that you might not have to pay for your banking, but here in Portugal, you pay a monthly fee, and the rates for savings aren't especially good. Or is that changing? Is there any sign of any new products where people can get some interest on their savings, Pedro?
No, so if you want to depositing money in banks is a complete waste of money.
Right. Okay.
It is
Right.
because I don't know, the market is organized that way. I don't know if it's a monopoly or something like that, but they do not pay fair interest rates.
No, they
Okay?
charge you, don't they? They charge you
Better,
for having a bank
you
account.
can if you have this well, they charge you some fees, yes, and what you will earn in interests might not compensate. However, if you want to deposit money in Portugal, so because for some people they have to keep their investment simple, because for example in the US there are some complications when you start investing in structured products. You can either invest, for example, in Portuguese deposits, like you have.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so you have short-term notes and long-term notes of the Portuguese Republic,
Okay.
and the rating of the Portuguese Republic is quite good. By the way, we have, for example, we have one of the largest gold reserves in the entire world.
Yes, I discovered
Yeah.
this not literally, but yes, I'm aware of this fact. Yes.
Yes,
Just
if it
recently.
was if it wasn't for one minister in 2009 that decided to start selling some of our gold, it was very stupid of him.
Right.
We still have one of the largest gold reserves. So
Very interesting.
investing on the Portuguese Republic pays better than depositing your money in a bank,
Uh-huh.
while being safe at the same time. Okay.
Very good. That might be certainly part of a webinar in the future, or certainly a forum discussion, some of those more advantageous savings rates, or not savings, but investment vehicles of that kind. Investing in the Portuguese state there. Thanks, Pedro, for that. Yeah, and there is some talk in the chat about banks. And as I said in the previous webinar, there's not a good brand, there are good people. So when you found a good person in a bank, look after them. That's how it seems to work here in Portugal. Yeah, don't worry too much about the brands. I think more about the people. Did Gilda say, yup, that is proper Portuguese? She did. She said so much by just saying one word earlier on as well, I noted as well. To Nunu, an insurance question. Do you sell the insurance for an e-bike? I understand one is needed. This is new legislation, is it not, Nunu? And Alexander wants to know if you can sell some e-bike insurance.
Yeah, yes, we provide, and I already asked to send us to our email, imsafe@winsurance.pt, the information about the bike and its characteristics and value, because depending on the bike's characteristics, it also influences the insurance premium. So please
Okay.
let us know, and
Have a
we'll
chat.
start from there.
All right. Who's got a quick
And-
poll? Who's got an e-bike? I'd like to know how many of our expats Portugal community actually have e-bikes and scooters. Let us know. Go ahead, Nuno. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm looking to a message asking if we provide life insurance coverage. Yes, we can provide. Please send us an email or contact one of us, and we'll start from there.
It's a very busy chat tonight. Thanks for spotting that for me. Yeah, likewise. Anyone else on the Dream Team panel tonight? There are so many questions here and on YouTube. It's a very busy evening. Thank you for mentioning that one, Nuno. I'll stay with you. How do we choose a primary care MD, a doctor, once we are enrolled with insurance? I have an MGen, but when I went to the CUF and wanted to make an appointment, they are asking non-citizens to go to Porto to get yet another number certificate. Really, if you've already got the NIS and the SNS, what else can they be asking you to get? I didn't know there was. They don't want your NIF, do they? You presumably already got that. But Gonzalo's already all over that. How can you help people find a primary care or family doctor, Nuno?
Okay, so we can assist you about how to navigate on the healthcare network of the insurer. Okay, so regarding that, no problems. We know that especially CUF, they have some strange arrangements, and so yeah, the best is call us and we'll give you a hand on that.
Yeah, it's a funny name as well with some strange arrangements. Okay, so
Because what happened is that it is the same brand, CUF, but CUF's facilities, they don't belong to the same owner. So it's like McDonald's, okay? And
yeah.
As far as I know, different people that want to invest on the medical business, so they buy a license or something like that to CUF.
Okay. By that, you don't mean you can get Sagres with your fast food. You mean that's a different analogy you're making. There's a notable difference with McDonald's here in Portugal. You can get a Sagres to go alongside that Happy Meal. Okay. Thank you, Nuno, for that. And Connie, thank you for your message. The monthly online social is this Saturday, and everyone is invited. It's a party atmosphere where we talk about, a home with the Stalikas. We talk about living in and or moving to Portugal. Bring your questions and your experiences. It's a fun time. 8 p.m. Porto time. And Connie and Hank, it was so lovely to meet you on the Caldas de Rainha Obidos outing. And bookings are now being taken for the Evra Christmas gathering as well. That'll be December the 13th, everybody. MI, based on various discussions I've read on forums, many residency permit holders express concern that if the Shaker Party comes to power, the renewal of residency permits may be discontinued. Very reassuringly, Daniel, you're saying I don't think that will be a reality. It is part of a rather sort of feverish atmosphere at the moment, and we do need to kind of calm down a bit, perhaps.
Yeah, I do agree. Do remember that the countries do have some leeway in terms of the particular rules that they can implement in the renewals and attribution of the residency permits, but a big section of those rules is governed by the EU. So the EU provides the skeleton and the legal frame, and just not renewing residency permits, that wouldn't make any sense at all. I don't know if Tilda agrees, but
yeah.
Tilda? Do you agree that this is a possibility or not so much?
What? Sorry, I was in another.
Oh, bless you. Okay. Do you know what?
Tilda in dire need of dinner.
So definitely. I'll move on. I'll spare you the commentary there for a moment.
No. What do you want from me?
The question was, based on various discussions, if Shaker comes to power, the renewal of residency permits may be discontinued.
No. I would kill him first. So
okay, there you go. We have your word on that this tonight. She's hangry. She's hangry, everybody.
I am. And you are my friend.
Hungry.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
You are my friend on Facebook, and you see how angry I've been.
Absolutely. Yes, you too.
I was commenting this today, Gilda. You were never to expose any of your beliefs or disbeliefs online, and this is the first time that I've seen you, and I take my hat to you.
Yes, it's a new level, a new normal here. So thank you both of you there. I've got so many questions to get through. We've only got 10 minutes left on this week's Dream Team session. Haven't even got to YouTube yet. Great to hear from Pedder, concerned about being charged for an account that was a little bit over the top in terms of price. You had a lovely conversation, I believe, with a Portuguese person in the bank, Pedder, from afar in Wales, and that has been eased to your satisfaction. Thank you very much. Digital key of some kind. Somebody's presumably talking about the Chave. What's it called? A Chave Digital. That's being discussed, presumably. Krista, if you need to know more about that, do let us know there. Okay. I think, yes, Nuno and Gonzalo are helping you, MI, with your request for a premium quotation there. Thank you very much for that. Mr. S, not sure I understand that question. Primary care, we've dealt with that one there. Must have missed it. What is the Portuguese median income? Thank you. Linda, nice to see you this evening. And I think your question has also been answered in the chat over here. So that gives me a few minutes to pop over to YouTube. Expats Portugal Premium members, if I have missed anything you've asked me, you make sure I get that perhaps with a direct message and I can put that to the panel. Where would we find info about the Portuguese Republic investing at Pedro? Yes, how to invest in the Portuguese state with those investments that you spoke about there. Those what's the official name for them, Pedro?
It's treasury certificates.
Treasury certificates.
Certificados de Tesouro in Portuguese.
Okay, all right. So there you go. And Pedro's answered that for you, Laurie, in the chat.
There is a link there, but you can subscribe those online. Or you can subscribe through Banco CTT, which, by the way, is a bank that has reasonably low fees.
And that's the post office bank, isn't it?
Yes, the post office bank. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Pedro. That's really good. Thanks for asking that, Laurie. Jerry.
Yes, I just wanted to jump in and say that's exactly the subject of our webinar next Thursday at 7:30 Lisbon time, how investing money in Portugal. So
very good.
We'll be covering it once again on the webinar next week.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, quickly pop over. Thanks, Jerry, for that. Quickly pop over to YouTube, where there's a shout out to you there, Gilda. Gilda, thank you. I don't know what for, but Mo Ward is putting that your way. Fourth year resident, baby due soon for nationality. Which matters more, date of birth or application date, Daniel? Can we apply after promulgation if the baby is born on or before the day of publishing? That's extraordinary timing, isn't it? And such a specific question. What do you make of that, Daniel?
It is. Well, the baby needs to be born, so the nationality is requested. So date that the baby is born is the key date, and then let's see what is the nationality law applicable at the time of the baby that is born. So baby being born is adamant, not just being inside, needs to be outside. And then what is the nationality law enforce on that day?
Yep, there you go. Okay, thank you for that question, Andrew. Thank you for your answer, Daniel. Solo Life Portugal, quick question for Daniel. Do you think the law will be retrospective? To cut that long story short there, I think you've already answered that basically, Daniel, haven't you? If nationality submission is considered once process number issued to check status, if we applied before new law effects in place and process number received after law change, please advise. I don't understand what that means. I suspect you might do, though, from Hamad there, Daniel.
Well, I think I do. If the nationality is submitted now or until the new law comes into full force, the old rules apply. If in my view, the law cannot be retroactive, it can only apply. It can only be applicable for new applications. So if someone submits until the new law comes into full force, then the 5 years are applicable.
Okay. Very good. Thank you for that, for Hamad there. Bonoit Rapaziada from JMC this evening. Good to see you. Hello, everyone. I was wondering if someone wants to transfer from the D7 to the Golden Visa, does the time spent on the D7 count into that? Do people do that, Gilda? And does the time spent on the D7, is that carried forward into the Golden Visa process?
I'm sorry, can you, I was reading the comments, I didn't get the question.
I think that, well, the question perhaps, Gilda might have gone for dinner now. I was wondering if someone wants to transfer from a D7 to a Golden Visa, does the time spent on the D7 count into that?
Yes, to the nationality, it does. but you
Good.
cannot have it both.
Right.
If you are on a golden visa and you want a D7, you need to opt out of the golden visa, and the opposite is true as well. So you cannot have two residency permits running at the same time.
Yes, but what counts is the time of the residency permit.
Right. Okay. And do you see this, Gilda, people switching now from D7 to golden visa?
No, I see more the other way around.
Yes, understandably
I
so.
concur.
Okay, all right, thank you.
People get fed up of the golden visa and they just request a D7.
Yeah, fair enough. And come and spend time in Portugal if they can do that, of course. Andrew, Registro Comercial has been sitting on our LDA update for 4 months. I know how that feels. Removing wife as a gerent and still paying social security for her. Any tricks to get them to move faster?
Yes.
You can get the Registro Comercial to move faster,
Yes.
Daniel.
Send an email. Send an email to the proper Registro Comercial, offer to pay the urgent fees, and state the reason why you need the gerent, the manager, to be removed as fast as possible. So if you send an email, you go there and you offer to pay the urgency fees, they'll do it within 48 hours.
Very good. Okay, that's a really good hack. Thank you for that.
Pay to resolve. That's basically.
What is the email? What is the email?
Depends on the registry. You need to send, it's a specific email to that specific registry. It's not to the whole registry system. So first advice is go there in person if it's not on the other end of the country. If not, send multiple emails, offer to pay the urgency fees, and that will resolve the issue. I had that in the past, and this is how we've done it.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. That's a really good hack for those people in that unfortunate situation. I'll come back to see if we've got anything else in the Expats Portugal Premium members, but there's a conversation going on YouTube. I think this might be addressed at me. If in a football match between England and Portugal, who would you cheer for? Think about it. I don't need to think about it. If I'm in a Portuguese bar, I'm cheering for Portugal. Don't worry about that. Right, I think that's everything from YouTube. Let me see what's going on over here. Credit union members are shareholders and have a vote. Oh, that was something else about credit unions before. What about switching from D7 to the golden visa? I think we've addressed that, Linda. I suspect, to your satisfaction there. That could be my and finally question. You know, who would you cheer for? Would it be? I mean, that's only from you and me, Steve, right? If we're in a bar in Portugal, who do you cheer for? England or Portugal? Portugal for us both, possibly, whilst we order another sag rush.
No, you just got to be brave. You just, or you just be very quiet, and then when you go outside, and then you celebrate. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We'll go with that.
Away from that.
We'll be quietly brave. in the cafe. Yes. Who are those guys who just left who are cheering outside? Oh, that'll be the England fans.
That's it.
Thank you very, very much, Dream Team. Jerry, are there any announcements, notices to share? We know that the social's happening with Connie and Hank at the weekend.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. Yes, so quite a bit happening. First of all, on Saturday, we have at home with Hank and Connie. You can see the lovely Connie sitting there. Give us a wave, Con. There she is. And her junior trainee IT assistant, Hank, will be there as well. So that goes out at 8 p.m. Lisbon time on Saturday. Everybody is welcome to join. So please do. Next Thursday at 7:30, we will be talking about retirement investment funds in Portugal, and that will be followed by the Premium Members Lounge, where we will discuss things internally. And then also Evra tickets are on sale now for Evra. We've got a great event planned coming up on around about the 13th of December, sometime around there. So it's all online. You can go on the webinar and you can see what's available and book your tickets and so on.
Going to be amazing, Evra. Debbie's looking forward to that. Thanks, Jerry. Linda, we did talk about Golden Visa to D7. That was more popular, wasn't it? Converting from Golden Visa to D7 rather than the other way around, Linda. And Debbie thought the airport shuttle bus was coming at 2, but it's coming at 3. I hope everyone's put their clock back already, and maybe that's an online booking thing.
Yeah. That's a good point. USA puts the clocks back a week later than we do. Why we do this, I have no idea. But anyway, the time differences are slightly out with the USA at the moment. They'll fix again at the weekend, I think.
Thanks for that. Yes, a good thing to know, especially if you're tuning into the webinar, as some people might be doing now. Gilda has a funny story for us. We've got
I want to hear this.
seconds left for this, Gilda.
It's going to be very quickly.
Okay.
So Carl
Yeah.
said on one of his shows that he was drinking white wine,
Oh,
but because
come
wait,
on.
but because it was not cold enough, he put some iced cubes.
Yeah.
So I made the comment like, I wasn't expecting this from you. After the sardines with olive oil, ice cubes on the white wine. Carl,
Yes.
you have no idea. I got about 5 phone calls and some text message saying, "Oh, are you breaking up with Carl? You had such a wonderful relationship."
Yeah.
And I was, no, it was just a joke.
But some people took that very seriously.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Amazing.
Gilda, you should tell this to Montenegro. Carlo will never have his Portuguese
Oh no.
nationality.
Stop it. Stop
Yeah.
it, please. I'm trying to share something very quickly that's connected with this. I had an idea. Do you remember the movie Supersize Me? I'm thinking of doing Portugalize Me. So this is my opportunity to put that right. My transformation from Brit to Tuga here. All suggestions. This would make a good documentary, I think. Well,
I love this.
I will dance folkloric. I will eat bacalhau. I'll go to church on Sunday. We just need suggestions for this. And that would this help, Gilda? Would this help right that wrong with the sardines and drinking wine with ice cubes in?
Yes, maybe. But the funny thing was that
Maybe.
people thought that I was really mad at you, and they were like, "Oh, what happened between you and Carl? And
And you
is
know what?
everything okay?" And
I suspect you didn't answer the question directly and just left it hanging there, right? Anyway, thank you so much, all of you, to the Dream Team. Thank you, Gilda, for that, for shaming me publicly. Much appreciated. And I look forward to your company again in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks, everybody. Great webinar earlier on and a great Dream Team this